With crypto getting more and more and more and more popular across the globe, a common question starts to come up. What is the best crypto to day trade? We day trade futures, scalping futures in fact, stocks, options, and everything else, but how do we do it with crypto? Can we do it with crypto? Is it a possibility? Hey there, John Henry here, Slingshot Futures Trading Group, SSFTG. I hope your trading has been fruitful and your trade plans have been solid. Today, I wanted to take a look at what the best crypto to day trade is. What market has the best volume, the best liquidity, and where we can best put our capital to work if we want to day trade crypto effectively. When we're talking about day trading here, it's a lot more than just buying and selling a coin, similar to how we would with a stock or some shares of a stock. If we're going to be day trading it or scalping it throughout the day, we need to know that there's actually volume being traded and enough to satisfy or basically to achieve what we need. So first off, volume and liquidity are obviously a very important aspect of this. We can't day trade easily if there isn't somebody, or a computer at least, on the other side of our trade, basically at all times. When we want in or out, we need to know that there's going to be something, an exchange, someone, whatever, on the other end of our trade so that we can get in or out at any point. And the only way that we can do that is to trade a heavily traded market to ensure that the volume is there to get what we need out of it. One of the easiest ways to figure this out is to swing over to coinmarketcap.com, which I have open on the left side there. We can take a look at the last few days of volume and data to give us an idea of which markets are consistently putting up the volume that we need to see in terms of day trading. So as we can see here from the 24-hour volume, we can see which ones are putting in enough volume. And really for a day trading perspective, we're looking at some relatively large numbers. As an example, this one is Bitcoin. And if we're looking at the amount of commas here, that's 1, 2, and there's 3 commas there. So they're obviously putting in, a halfway decent amount of daily volume at around 22 billion. But when we're talking about the overall movement, what do we need in terms of actually day trading? As an example, if we're going to be scalping in and out with $1,000 positions, trading a multi-billion-dollar market is going to be way more than enough. And that opens the doors for us a little bit, because realistically, we can look at the volume of anything that's regularly trading over $1 billion or close to $1 billion, and we shouldn't really have much of a problem in terms of liquidity. If we start dipping underneath that, where we start getting into 500 million or maybe even a little bit less, then, we might start running into some issues. So looking at the top coins that are putting in at least over $1 billion on average, looking across the gates here, of course, obviously the first one on the list is going to be Bitcoin. And obviously, as far as active volume, liquidity volume, and all of that, Bitcoin's going to win. There's really no way around that. It is, kind of the granddaddy for a reason. Bitcoin has the most volume. It's the largest by market cap. It's going to be the one that is going to offer the most day trade potential. That being said, if we wanted to trade Bitcoin from a day trade perspective, where do we trade it? So if we click on Bitcoin here and we look at where the volume is actually coming in, we can go over to the market here and we can see where this volume is actually being traded. Now we can see that Binance is trading a significant amount of that volume, but we also have the Coinbase exchange, which is trading a decent amount of that volume, and then things start drying off and dropping off. And keep in mind, we're talking a difference between Coinbase and Binance that's more than half of a difference. We're talking 1.2 versus 450 million. So there's nothing wrong with the Coinbase exchange as a way to day trade, and if you have an account on Coinbase, that will work. But if we're looking to chase as much volume as possible, then really Binance, which is specifically trading the BTC USDT pair, is where the most volume is being traded for Bitcoin specifically. Now, let's say we go down the list a little bit further and say, you know what, I really like Cardano. I've been a big fan of Cardano. I want to day trade Cardano. Is that a possibility? Well, if we click on it, we can take a look. First off, as far as the 24-hour volume is concerned, obviously, based on what we're seeing here, That's a significant increase in volume. But if we're up 100%, even if we divide this by half, if we chunk it in half, we're still at about 2.5 billion. So that's still totally fine in terms of what we're looking for. Now, where is this volume coming in? Well, we can go to market and we can see where this volume is actually being traded. And maybe not so unsurprisingly, the majority of the volume is coming from, once again, Binance at almost $1 billion of that volume. The rest of it on Coinbase at 343 million down to the next one. Once we know which coin or coins we want to focus on, we have to make sure, again, that we are trading it on the most active exchanges too. Just because we found the most voluminous market doesn't mean that we're trading it on the correct exchange to have access to that volume. So make sure to always double check which exchanges are actually putting in the flow. Once we know where the volume is coming in, it's just a matter of registering with that exchange and getting things locked and loaded with your KYC and all the other stuff. Of course, some exchanges are considerably better than others. I do prefer Binance, which, based on what we're seeing as far as volume is concerned, that's kind of good, because from a day trading perspective, they're usually the ones that are winning on the volume side anyway, which definitely helps out. Alright, that's going to do it. I hope that helps you in finding your day trading coins and cryptos that you want to focus on. If you want to join me and the rest of the SSFTG VIP crew, you can swing over to the main page of SSFTG and you can register for a 1-week trial to our live trade room. When you register, you get our 24-page guide on risk reward, as well as the scheduling access to get on a call with me to get all of your questions taken care of. We also go live every trading day here on YouTube at 1300 Eastern, as long as it's a trading day and it's open. So make sure to swing by there and hang out with us if you aren't in the VIP room. I look forward to seeing you all in the room. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks.